Hello
Hi
and welcome
everyone.
to a new video where Anna and Julia and together we run a membership for artists and urban sketchers called Brave Brushes Studio. As we're recording this in January, it is way too cold to sketch outside. So we have replaced urban sketching with Pinterest
With not urban sketching.
sketching. And so we've been spending a lot of time on Pinterest lately for inspiration. And I should say, Julia has the most amazing collections of sketching references on her Pinterest. So tell us, Julia, what are we doing today? Today we're looking at houses.
Yes, yes, and we will practice actually paint, draw, sketch loosely, and I think it's very important to practice this. I hear very often from my students that this is the most challenging part for them. They can draw straight lines sometimes it's difficult, but usually they can draw straight lines. But drawing, sketching loosely is difficult pretty much for everyone. And this exercise will help you to overcome this issue if you have one. In today we will try out a very fun technique. We will start with a blob with some paint on paper and try to create a beautiful, or no, by the way, it shouldn't be beautiful. It's all about practice. It's all
So
about,
we're not trying to create
no,
anything, right?
no, we are not trying. We just practice, we just experiment and have fun. That's
Okay.
the most important thing with sketching, right?
And we've been putting a lot of pressure on Julia recently with all sorts of challenging challenges, like 10 lighthouses in 10 minutes, an 8-minute sketch of something complicated. This time, no pressure,
No.
no challenge. It's like the opposite of
Oh,
challenge, pressure, and perfection, right?
yeah,
We'll
yeah,
see what comes out of it.
yes. What I'm going to do is just to take these three pictures you see here and try, not try, choose the colors I see here, red, green, a little bit of blue, and here are some oranges, and put them on paper in a quite random way. And then we will see what the second step will be. Okay, so let's start with um, putting some some color on paper, and I'm going to do it with watercolors and two brushes. I have here two brushes. If you don't have a brush like this, you can use any other brush. An important thing with this exercise is that the brush should be quite large. If you use a very small brush, you're going to paint way too detailed. This is not what we want to do here. So, okay, I start with the color I see in the first picture, and it's a red, a little bit orange, and this is also a good exercise for, especially for beginning artists, just to mix different colors. So this will be some color for the first house. Let's add a little bit of color for the roof, like this. I see it's like brown, maybe here something like this. Okay, the next one is a greenhouse, and I have here some green. It's a mixture of yellow and green, and I don't really like the color of the house, so I I will use my own a little bit more um, blue, and you can see that I don't paint very carefully. These are just some colors on paper, some gloves, all the colors I see in the picture, like this. Okay, and maybe something here. And for the last picture, some orange, and I will make it smaller, and just put some random, not very random colors, kind of the colors I see in here in the picture, but
Do you want to move your sheet a little bit? Yeah,
yes,
like this. Thanks.
and okay, so I think this is this doesn't look really like a very um, precise sketch.
Well, it definitely does not look like a house.
No, no, but this is what we need um, for this exercise.
It
This,
looks actually, Julie, it looks like what my daughter used to draw when she was two, when she was just discovering paints for the first time in her life. This is what it looks like.
yeah, and this is really perfect because
This is the right attitude, right?
yeah, definitely. And this helps you to understand that you always can create a beautiful or at least a nice sketch from something like this. You don't need to be very careful with your paints. Because when you are very careful with painting, your sketches are often very boring. I see all this. Um, yeah, they are very nice, but often also very boring pictures because people just don't dare to do something like this.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're waiting for the paint to dry.
Yes.
Tell us what paper are you using and why?
Yeah. I usually use a cotton paper, but not this
Mhm.
time. When I practice like this, I prefer to use a cheap paper, and this is, I think, one of the cheapest paper sorts I know, because it's just for practicing, and it releases the pressure of making mistakes, of trying to create something very beautiful. Because when you use, for example, artist paper, I don't know, 50, 60 euros for a block, then you're kind of afraid of making mistakes. At least I have this feeling that I think, oh my God, it should be really perfect.
Yeah, it has to be special.
Yes,
Yeah.
it has to be
Yeah.
special.
Okay. But so this is cellulose paper, since you say it's cheap.
This is cellulose paper,
All
yeah.
right, and it dries quicker.
It dries quicker. This is also an advantage for when you want to paint or to practice in a quite quick way, maybe. It dries like 10 or 5, 10 times faster than cotton
All
paint.
right.
It
Five,
depends
10
on your.
times faster. Oh my God. Okay, so if you're watching this video and painting along with us, give your paints a few minutes to dry. And in the meantime, Julia will explain what our
Yeah.
stage two is for this project and what
Uh,
supplies we need for that.
Yes, yes. The other supplies we are going to, I'm going to use will be a fine liner.
Mhm.
So I will draw the houses now in with a fine liner, and I don't want to draw them very draw out every single detail again. It should be quite a loose sketch, and I will also use this brush pen. It's one of my favorites. It's Tombow, I guess. Yeah, a very very nice brush pen. The benefit of this is that you can create thin lines, but also thicker lines. And I will use two colored pencils, just for fun. I think. And if you have something like, I don't know, maybe this nail color
Crayons.
crayons or something like this, you can also put them on paper and just have fun and make something.
So we're
Maybe,
done with painting. We're not going to paint anything anymore.
no, no, we're not going to paint. I can um,
Put
put
your
my,
jello palette away.
yes, yes, it will be easier for me.
Okay.
Okay, so.
So this is a good way to learn to paint loosely. Does this have any other benefits, this exercise, this kind of practice?
Uh, yes, of course. It also it also help you understand that or forget the idea that your painting should look realistic.
Mhm.
Yes, and this is also one of the maybe kind of problems of beginning artists, that when they start drawing, painting, sketching, they try to create a very realistic picture of what they see. And I think it's a little bit pity, because if you want to draw something very realistic, I would say take a picture of it. And if you want to express yourself, it's not the way.
Mm. Do you think this is a feature of urban sketching? Like this lack of realism, this imperfection, and as you put
Yes,
it, creating a suggestion, an impression of the scene rather than, you know,
yes, yes, definitely.
creating a very detailed and very realistic image.
Yes.
Is this, but well, my question is that your perception, or do you feel like most urban sketchers share this perception? Is it a characteristic of urban sketching as a type of art?
No, I don't think so. Everyone is very different. I know
Mhm.
people who draw sketch very realistic. However, sketching in general is not realistic,
Okay, yeah,
because
so that's how it's different from, well, drawing
painting.
or, I don't know, classic watercolor painting,
Yeah.
landscape painting.
Yes, but I know that quite a lot of urban sketchers try to be quite realistic. However, there are some who just create an impression of the place, and this is the most uh, beautiful thing I think, because when you feel what the artist feel, it's the most beautiful thing, right?
Sure, sure. Yes, I have to agree with you here. Um, and well, that is also true when you're using colors that are brighter than what you see in real life. All
Yeah.
those circles in the sky that you like to add.
Yeah, that's my impression.
That's my impression of an
I
urban.
feel I feel like there are circus in the sky,
All
even
right.
when
And
it's cloudy.
well, basically, the only thing that urban sketchers have in common, really, is that they sketch on location, right?
Yes, yes.
But you have a different view of urban sketching, and you extend it or expand it to sketching from reference photos, right?
Yes, but I think it's the most important thing is not that you draw on location, but that you draw.
An
um,
urban scene.
in urban scene, yes, and you can practice at home from a photograph. I agree, it's not the same. And I try to get my students on location and draw on location with them. And when the weather is better, of course, my workshops, my offline workshops, are all on location. But I think it's also important to develop the skill, and you can develop the
Right.
skill by drawing at home from a picture. So, and I think that my paint is almost dry,
Uh-huh.
or
So
at least I.
we're ready to use the fine liners. Is that thick, thin, medium, fine?
This one is medium. It's
Okay.
0.5 millimeter, and yeah, let's try to start with the first reference. This beautiful house. Mm, all of these houses are in Holland, by the way, in the Netherlands, and but yeah, wasn't it wasn't my intention to to choose
Just Dutch
Dutch
houses,
houses.
right?
No,
So
actually
this is
no.
just a coincidence. The ones that
Yeah,
you had at the top of your board.
yeah.
Okay. So you say. Okay, we'll pretend like we believe you.
No, it's true. This time it's true. Yeah, and look, we just can draw what we see, no pressure here, and I see that my fine liner doesn't really like the water here.
And they have to be waterproof, the fine liners, don't
They
they?
are, yes, they are, but there is a
No, no,
pool
no,
of
that I
water.
understand, but I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
your fine liners are all waterproof.
Yes, but
Or not?
when you draw with a fine liner over drawing watercolor, it doesn't really matter if it's waterproof. The other way around, it's
Hmm.
very important to use waterproof fine liner. If you put your watercolor on top of, or your fine liner on top of. Um,
No, you put watercolor on top of fine liner, and then it's a
yeah,
problem.
yes.
Okay, well, you keep.
Sometimes it's
Okay,
difficult
just
to
stop
do
talking.
this.
Just focus on drawing, Julia. Don't worry about it.
Okay,
Okay,
so
now it's
here,
shaping up to be quite a beautiful house.
yeah, well, I just, draw what I see here. And you know what I really like of these Dutch houses is that they all have so many textures on them. And textures make scenes look much more beautiful than when you don't have any textures. Um, it creates the atmosphere, I think. Um, it's let me see. This is the power of a brush pen that you can create thicker lines.
And we already have a video about brush pens, how
Yeah,
to use them to create, yeah, how to use them in urban sketching
yeah,
and how they're different from fine liners.
yeah. How to create more interest in your sketch by using fine liners.
Okay, looks nice.
Yeah, it's, maybe it's not perfect or something, but at least I try to just to enjoy what I see, just
Right, sure.
to have fun with my materials. Okay, so the next, yeah, maybe I need another material here, white pen, because
Okay, because it's too dark. Too dark.
it's too dark. Yes, for some parts, maybe it's very obvious. It was very obvious that I would need this um, white pen. I hope it works. And just draw in a very, very loose manner. And also you can try out um, your materials if you don't know how to apply them to your sketches and you're not sure if they work together, then you can just do an exercise like this. Take a few houses from Pinterest or whatever you like and draw draw them with these materials and look if it works.
You know how in our video about brush pens, we said how you never use brush pens. It looks to me like from now on you'll be using a brush pen in
All the
every
time.
video.
In every video, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I can add.
I
I don't know.
absolutely
I
love it.
think my this pen doesn't work anymore, so it's very difficult to draw something really white. So I will try. I don't have another one here, so I can try pastel pencil instead. So I think that will
All
be,
right, yeah, that
yeah,
works.
that works better. Yeah, that's a difficult thing that white markers sometimes they stop working. But the most
Right when
important,
yeah, when you need them.
yeah, yeah, and let's make it a little bit more fun and
And even less realistic, right?
less realistic, even less realistic. And I said I would use just two colors, but
Well, you got a little carried away.
yes, as always. Yeah. So, but it looks much nicer now, much more colorful. And we can make this part. Yeah, I think that.
Really, what happened to the circles in the sky?
You're gone.
Okay.
Okay, the last one. Oh, let's add some green here. I can't stand out that it's so boring. Really, like this. And the last one. Uh,
Can you move it just a tiny bit to the,
yes,
yeah, like this? All right. Yeah, thanks.
and this one is the easiest one, I think, because there are many houses in the picture, but they are quite easy to draw. Just maybe only for me, I don't know. They're very easy shapes to draw. And it's also easy to create suggestions of windows, for example, like this. You can draw some short lines, dots, and all this creates a nice picture. Some shadow. And I often hear from different people that they say that my lines are so straight and they are worried about their lines that they are not straight, very wonky. Do you think I draw with straight lines?
Well, those people haven't seen your sketches up close.
This is what I mean.
No,
No,
but to have straight lines, you actually have to practice straight lines. Not when you're drawing, but as a separate drill, right? There are
yes,
different kinds of lines. There are, there's long lines and short lines and curvy lines. And
yes, Yes, and
um,
I agree. My lines are straighter than the
than
lines
most.
of beginning artists, but they are not perfectly straight. This is not what we want to achieve at all. Perfectly straight um, lines are not useful for urban sketching. This is not what we want to have in our sketches. We want to have not perfect lines, but quite straight lines. I agree.
Yeah, but for perfect lines, use a ruler, right?
Yeah, very boring. There are no life in these sketches with a ruler. They should be a little bit wonky and not perfect. Okay, I don't like uh, this yet, but
I thought we weren't trying to make them perfect. We were trying
no,
to
no,
make
no,
them
no.
imperfect and very quick. Stop adding
Yes,
details,
yes, yes.
Julia. Otherwise, you're turning this into the basics of urban sketching workshop.
No, I'm done. I'm done, and I think it's not perfect. It's not. It's maybe not very beautiful, but I think it's the perfect practice for loose sketches for sketching loosely.
Right, yes, I agree. And it looks beautiful, and your lines are not straight at all. Um, but yet the houses are quite, recognizable. I mean, you look at the photos and at the houses, and well, there is a resemblance. Yeah, I can totally point out the photos that you used as
Yeah,
references. So you did manage to capture the essence, right? The your impression of the scene.
yeah, yeah, and it's not boring. That
Okay, well, our video is already 30 minutes long, so we're going to say goodbye. Thank you, Julia, for your generosity with your time, with your advice, and with all the amazing sketching
thank
tips.
you too.
And guys, if you liked this video, check out Brave Brushes Studio at bravebrushes.com. This is the best way to support Julia creating content, both free and paid, and also the best way to learn from Julia. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel in order not to miss our next video. Happy sketching
Happy
and
sketching,
bye
guys.
bye.
Bye bye.